everybody, this is Everything is Fine, Nothing is Ruined. Today, I'm here to discuss something very important with you. And that is that the president has been shot. Wait, he's not. Oh. Okay. Fuck. Alright. This is Everything Fine, Nothing is Ruined. And I'm your host, Tristan. With me today is Hassan, and
That's me.
That's you. Teleprompter's telling me that there's also Aunt Margaret in the room. That's not true, though. Son, I'm trying this whole new teleprompter thing, and it's kind of starting to talk to me like a weird bug language.
Look, Tristan, you don't need a teleprompter.
Yeah.
All you need to know is trust in the silken ones, and everything will work out fine.
No, that's not it. Telling me that something beastfly something. Oh, there's too many bugs in this system. So, oh, is that what we're discussing today? Something about the computer bugs?
Yeah, actually, they are bugs made and only existing on the computer.
Oh, okay, like a purposely faulty equipment to kind of test whether or not a piece of hardware is working.
No, actually, do you know why they're called computer bugs?
No, why?
So the original computers, when they were literal punch cards that it would have to read the holes. They would have problems where, if bugs got on them and got squished, it would return false values.
Makes sense. Good old paper.
Literally,
and wood.
A computer bug used to be a bug that ended up messing up something.
Good old paper and wood computers.
But there was a lot of metal and electricity flowing through them, but there also was a lot of paper.
This is true. Okay, well, if we are not here to discuss computer bugs that I'm experiencing right now, it's now telling me that I need to kill my Aunt Margaret. I don't have an Aunt Margaret, so
you're probably looking at ChatGPT as the problem.
Oh, this explains a lot.
Yeah,
it's a buggy mess. So this makes perfect sense. Well, what are we here to discuss then?
Well, Tristan, we are here to discuss bugs, specifically the bugs of Farloom in Hollow Knight Silksong.
I see. So insects.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, there's actually not that many insects in this game, really.
A lot of four-limbed things. A lot
of stuff they call insects that just really aren't.
I see a lot of four limbs here.
Uh-huh.
Not a lot of, six-legged creatures or eight-legged creatures.
Or, I mean, you give them to centipedes, millipedes, all that.
There are millipedes, though. They're more like worms. Yeah.
So, Hollow Knight Silksong, the sequel to, I didn't even look at what year it came out. The original Hollow Knight, doesn't matter. Something like that, yeah. Before we actually get into this game, though, I do want to talk about a couple of things that this game is not, because more and more I'm seeing certain conversations and talking points come up, and I think this year in particular there's a lot of it because both Hollow Knight and Clair Obscur Expedition 33 came out, and a lot of the kind of same conversations happen with them.
Yes, they do.
So I just kind of want to talk about how, one, this game is not the proof that some people think it is, or same with Clair Obscur, this idea of, good games equals success. certainly whether a game is good or bad is a factor in its success. But particularly in the indie game space, there are a lot of indie games that come out every year.
True.
Some of those are incredible. Plenty of those fail.
Yeah.
There are so many things and factors that go into the success or failures of a game. Like, for example, Spelunky 2, by all accounts, was a good game.
Yeah.
But also, by all accounts, just
absolute failure.
Didn't launch the same way that the first game did.
No. Spelunky had a lot of word of mouth and like a little bit more fervor around it, and it had a little more stage presence in like E3 and stuff. And then Spelunky 2 didn't have that as much, and so when that released, people jumped on it, and it's like, yeah, okay, cool, and it's more Spelunky, and this is great. But like, not enough people did that.
Yeah, and I think another thing this game is not is sort of this idea where people kind of just say like, well, just take your time and make a good game and it'll all work out.
Yeah.
It's like this game, Silksong, was able to take its time and be a good game. And those two things are not always a correlation and guarantees. There are plenty of games that have taken their time, tried to do the right thing, and still struggled to be good and to, you know, reach certain highs and expectations. You know, I think there's a lot about Hollow Knight, Silksong, and Expedition 33 that it's survivorship bias, right? It's people looking at the plane and going, oh, well, where the shots don't land, this is where it succeeds, and completely ignoring all the other instances of indie games that did these same things and did not succeed. And I just kind of want to preface that. The last one as well is this game is not one of the, people kind of clown on him for it, but Jeff Keighley at last year's Game Awards said something effective like, this game was made by one guy and his four friends or something to that effect. And, a lot of people are just like, oh, look at what Team Cherry can do with only 3 people. It's like, no, if you look at the credits, there's a lot more people than that. They had other people working on this game. They had contractors. They had support companies doing stuff.
3 people only worked in this game, clearly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those 3 people, they did all the instruments. They did all the voice acting, all the translation. All QA testing. It is. It just, people, please stop projecting your personal biases onto this game.
That's never going to happen. Never going to stop.
Desire to be like, oh, if the game industry just did things my way, it'd be success. No.
Yeah.
There are very smart people who work at plenty of indie game companies and larger game companies, and it's not because they're dumb and not as smart as you that their games fail.
Yes, this is a good point. I want to actually run through the credits just a little bit here. Just a little bit. Not everybody, because there's actually a lot more than you think there are. But the credits to Hollow Knight Silksong, off the top, of course, Team Cherry is Ari Gibson and William Pellin, as well as Jack Vine doing technical directing. And then you have Christopher Larkin. There's a 4th person. Team Cherry is touted as a 3-person company. Don't forget that. Then Matthew Griffin. And then as the public relations and marketing. And additional programming by Hui Lee. Testing and QA, Nassim Gabriel and Benjamin Zarb. And then additional character design, Makoto Koji. Let's move down a little bit more. Voice acting, Makoto Koji did Hornet. Lace did Mitsuki, was Mitsuki Hashimoto, etc., etc. Additional audio editing, Hugh Wagner. So HEW, anyway. The strings were Lachlan Bramble, Tim Cheel, Linda Garrett, etc., etc., etc. Playtesters, D-Day Wad Anderson, Matthew Griffin, Sam Griffin, Daniel James Freer, etc. Now, here's my theory as to why everybody thinks this game was only made by 3 people. And it has a lot to do with, yes, the zeitgeist around it is like, oh, Team Cherry is a very small team. Because Team Cherry itself, yes, is a small team of 3 people. Yes, correct. However, what I think has happened is this, and this is maybe a little cheeky, but not enough people have finished Silksong to roll credits. And thus have not seen.
I think even if they've rolled credits, that to them they're not looking at that. But
no.
You know, even like with all the Trump stuff that's going on too, I think as people are understanding what globalization everything means, it's like, okay, even if Team Cherry was only 3 people, the success or the ability for this or any game to be successful is also dependent on the however many, I'm going to guess hundreds, if not thousands, depending on what game engine they use, who built that tool that allowed them to make this game. They're probably also using lots of other, not just the game engine, but, you know, when they are doing the graphic design, there's probably something like Photoshop or Blender. There's the console makers and the storefronts like Steam. And it's just this thing of like, even though those people are not involved in the making of the game, there's still all this other stuff. It's just, it is insufferable hearing people project their fantasies onto this game in that way. And I just, I want to put that line in the ground that, hey, we're talking about this game and its success. Don't think that we're trying to basically say all your weird fantasies are right about this thing.
Yeah, no, they are. Unless you have very specific fantasies of them contracting out their music and art design, then yes.
Well, yes. If that's your fantasy, then your fantasies are right.
Correct fantasy.
Also, I have some questions about your fantasies.
Hey, I have a question about your free time at that point. I think
better fantasies, I guess.
Yeah. Why? It's like, oh God! If only they just contracted out to more play testers.
Yeah.
I read an argument online actually that Silksong is so hard because like nobody really actually play tested it, just the people who were making the game, and I'm like, that can't be right. Like, here's the thing: even if that were true, I feel as if the designers would be like, like they're probably not. They're like they can't be like absolutely the best at the game no matter what. Like I think people have honestly,
I don't think there's a single game out there that's ever been made where anybody who worked on the game was I'll correct it. I think there are sometimes when, say, a fighting game, when they bring in, like the outside players who are champions or some shooters, whatever. Sure. But we'll say like the core teams, almost never they're the best. 5 minutes after it released that game, some rando is just the absolute could destroy everybody who's worked on any game that's been made.
100%. The I think you brought up fighting games is a very funny one because I know that what fighting game devs like to do is like they'll usually stream hunt a little bit, and then like people who are playing their fighting game at the time, if they're just kind of like average Joes, They might jump in and like challenge them a little bit, but like if you're a fighting game streamer at all, I feel like you're probably, a fighting game streamer. But even still, I think fighting game devs are usually at that point where they could probably be considered better than the average people, because usually there's a deep love for that stuff. Team Cherry, on the other hand, like they probably have a love for this kind of game, and I think that's got to be the case because I mean, they made it. They made a game like this, so that they have to.
It'd be very funny if they hate this kind of game, though.
Can't stand this shit.
Yeah,
that's why we made a Devil May Cry style character action game with Dark Souls elements in it and Metroidvania crap. We fucking hate that shit.
Hate it. Yeah,
we're putting that to bed.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, yeah, like they made this game with these elements in it, and it's just like they're likely fans and therefore probably pretty good at the game, but like, are they necessarily the best? No,
No.
There are what they're like like full glitch runs that are like sub an hour or something like that of the game.
Yeah,
I haven't checked in the speedrunning community just recently, so I don't know. But like, yeah, I want to see all bosses run. Yeah, it's a slog. But yeah, they can't be the best. And like, I saw that in Reddit. Like, oh, clearly they have only been the ones to play their game, and that's why it's so hard, because like it's such in a vacuum, and they're so good at the game. And like, you are fucking delusional, everybody. Then I realized I was on Reddit and then backed out real fast. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, of course they're delusional. They're on Reddit.
Yeah. Vacuum chambers, all of it. Anyway, point is, yeah, I read that and just like that's clearly not the case. So at that point, yeah, I looked up the credits and to see if there were other playtesters, because I imagine they did also playtest their own game. That makes perfect sense for the devs to be like, hey, maybe we should give this a shot and make sure it's fun and it works and all that stuff. And, so they may have done initial alpha playtesting or beta playtesting even, but there's a great chance, and correctly so, that, yeah, they probably hired outside playtesters, right?
Yeah.
They did.
Okay. I mean, this game is available on consoles. Minimum.
Yes.
It got QA tested by the console manufacturers, right?
Correct.
This game was just so hard that their QA people are like, we can't progress. Wouldn't even get launched. Now, getting into the actual game, I just want to establish I am a good gamer who completed it, and Tristan is a baby gamer who can't finish the game. So, let's just set those ground rules here.
Fuck you. Okay. First off, fuck you. Do I need to read my Steam page where I beat fucking Consort Radon in Elden Ring?
Yeah.
Do I have
cheat
to?
Engine, I think. I bet that's how you did it.
Cheat engine.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Dex build. Fuck you, motherfucker. Not even my like cheesy ass magic guy got him. Dex build with throwables.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I hate you.
No. So actually getting into this game, I don't like. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think we really need to talk too much about the actual kind of characters and story of this game.
Yeah.
I think there are other places to talk about that. I do certainly like a lot of the characters. I think
they're great.
They're great. There's some good, interesting storytelling here, but the
lore is
conversation
cool,
I want to have about this
great.
game, there are more interesting things like the difficulty of this game, which
yes,
I am of the opinion that like the difficulty itself is not too hard. And what I mean by that is I was able to beat this game. I was able to beat this game without multiple of the upgrades you get in the third act. So there's two endings of this game. You can either end it in Act 2, or you can basically unlock in Act 3, and there's more boss fights, more upgrades, etc.
Yeah.
And I don't consider myself a god tier gamer or anything in reality. If I had to guess, I'm probably slightly above average, just based on the fact of when I look at certain tougher games like a Silksong or other ones I've played, and I look at kind of the achievements and percentages. It's like, okay, I've got like some of the tougher achievements to get, or some of the achievements that some people just. You're talking about something like an Elden Ring or even this game where, some people just get frustrated and stop. So I don't think the actual difficulty of the game is too hard. What I do think is problematic about the difficulty of this game is the lack of any and I'm specifically going to say accessibility options rather than just saying a difficulty slider, because in general, we need to move away from video games simply having like easy, normal, hard kind of options.
I agree with that, yes.
And what we need to move towards is more accessibility sliders and options where it allows you to do things like just set things like, well, how much damage do you take from enemies versus how much damage can you do to enemies? How wide are parry windows? Can you just automatically parry instead of having to do that? Claire Obscura, I actually think was okay about that. I don't recall if there were accessibility options. I remember there were items you could get that would just automatically parry, was it? I can't recall if there was an automatic dodge. I know there was an automatic parry.
I can't remember if it's an automatic. I thought it was an auto dodge and an auto parry. Maybe I'm wrong on that one.
It could be the other way. I thought it was, but
it's an auto dodge.
Stuff like that. I think it is extremely disappointing that this game has nothing like that, and whether intentional or not ends up being more kind of fuel on that kind of Dark Souls fire of the we'll just get good. It's the authorial intent to have this game be difficult.
Was it?
Because I at times I like the difficulty of this game. At other times there are quality of life items and elements of the indirect difficulty of this game I just did not enjoy. I'll also say so the way this game works is after you beat Act 2, spoilers. Basically Act 3, the void spreads, and so all the just basic enemies that you have fought throughout the game, they kind of get new abilities, so they can do things like they'll spit these goops of kind of tar looking stuff that when it hits the ground will then like kind of burst out into spinning blades, or the characters themselves might like shoot out tendrils and stuff. And then their hits will take back some of your silk, which in this game is essentially like your mana that you can use to either do kind of a special attack or heal with. And I definitely didn't love that by the time I got to Act 3, because this is a long game. I think I clocked in my Act 2 with something like 37 hours, and then I think Act 3 to complete was 45 hours or something. So
God damn. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Being 37 hours into the game And then it goes, oh, well, what if all the base enemies just got even more difficult? Kind of felt like,
Yeah.
you know, I just don't feel like it at that point. Usually by the end of the game, you know, I kind of want to feel like a god. I kind of want to feel like I can just and Hollow Knight 1 I thought did a really good job with that, especially with that I don't remember what it's called, but there's like a sort of, you charge it up and then he'll just rocket in a direction.
Which is like the most Metroid thing you could do. Like that was in like Metro, it's like Super Metroid basically.
And I'm kind of I like that in an end of game, not a like, oh man, I feel kind of even weaker than I've ever felt because these enemies are more annoying. But there are definitely some fights where I just kind of, I wish it gave me the option that if I wanted to make that fight easier, I could have.
Yeah, of course.
And like, that's another thing too. Sometimes games will be like, well, you can bump down the difficulty, but once you do that, you're not allowed to bump it back up. Like, no, just let me freely change it whenever I feel like it.
Yeah.
You know, it's silly for games to try and tie these things in. Some of these boss fights are just, they're frustrating and difficult.
Yeah, I hear you. It gets to be a little bit too much sometimes.
Yeah. On top of that, too, though, the exploration, I wish that Team Cherry would sometimes let you choose not to kind of figure out the exploration and the trick on your own. And the specific example I'll give is when I finished Act 3, I was something like 86% completion. So I didn't find all the fleas. There were a couple boss fights I just completely missed. There were some upgrades I missed, a bunch of the tools I hadn't found. And sometimes I just didn't find them because it was I literally just didn't notice that this one tile on a wall was slightly cracked. So if I just whacked it with my needle, that would have broken the wall. I could have gone through, or, you know, hey, if you actually look carefully in this one section of the roof, it's just leaves covering it. It's not leaves and stone, and you could have jumped up there if you had realized. You know, I wish the game gave you an option. Like, you can go to Chakra, and she would just be sort of a, hey, do you just want to pay me? God, what's the currency in that game again? Is it bells?
No,
rosaries.
Rosary beads. Rosary beads, by the way, not rosaries. The whole thing is a rosary. God damn it! God, just annoying. It's so annoying. Go on. Sorry.
But I wish you could just go to her and spend some of that, and she'd just be like, "Cool, I'll give you the full map for this area." And
that'd be nice.
Even if it wasn't, you know, people complain about the yellow paint in games these days. Even if it wasn't that, if it was just, hey, it shows you grayed out area of the map, and it's very obvious that, like, oh, yeah, I totally missed there was a section here I could have gone to. I would have felt a lot better about that game, because there is so much that you can easily miss in this game. And I think it's cool. It gives you the option to do your own explanation and stumble into a lot of that stuff. But in particular, just across the board with games, I really, really dislike how video games seem to be built as if the internet does not exist, and the ability for me to look up a guide and find things out is just not there, right? Because that's what I did. After I beat the game, I basically just went to I think there was 3 fleas. I
Mm.
just could not figure out how to get to them. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, how do I get to this one? Oh, I see. Instead of, hey, there's a flea right here. And I'm like, well, it's got to be, if it's in this corner, it's either got to be
Mm.
something at like I can go down or I can go this way. Oh, nope. I actually have to go all the way to, the right side and
Yeah.
travel across and up.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, I just didn't realize that. Had no idea.
Yeah, basically.
And I think it's lame that a lot of video games are just programmed as if eventually I can't just quickly Google something and find it out.
Yep.
It's not 1993 anymore.
No.
Like Pokemon tends to be bad for that. Oh, here's this Pokemon that evolves in a weird way.
Gotta figure it out.
I'm not gonna, hey, if this thing hits level 30 and still has evolved, I'm just going to Google, how's this thing evolve? Oh, didn't realize that. Cool. I'll do that instead.
Rub this rock on it. Great. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gotten way weird. If it was that simple, I would have figured it. There are ones where it wasn't the current games. It was the last set, Sword and Shield. But it was like, you have to, I think it has to take either a certain amount of damage or its health has to be at like a specific number. And then you have to level it up as you like walk under this specific arch.
What? What is wrong?
Yeah,
No.
It's stupid. But that's the thing is
it's like natural evolutionary process.
Like, I'm gonna look that up. And Silksong, same thing. Yeah. I bet it is single-digit % of players who ever kind of, I won't say beat the game, because I beat the game without ever looking anything up. But I doubt there's anybody who has sort of beaten the game and then either before they beat it or after just gone and looked stuff up to be like, there's this one thing I just can't find. I can't figure out. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm dumb. I wish you would tell me. I wish you had those options because
it'd be nice. It's just because, like, and I fully agree because, for instance, once I got the other, like the next crest you get, which is the Reaper, canonically, that's the one you're likely to get right after the hunt, the first one you have. I was like, oh, okay, so there's probably other ones. This is like changes my fighting style. Interesting. What else is out there? Curious. And I was like, I'll find it eventually. I'm sure they're not in any. I'm sure they're all on like the typical like main path. They wouldn't just take this important stuff and shove it off somewhere else. But they did. So
yep.
I was like looking like I haven't found any more of these crests, and like I feel like the fact that this gives you gameplay changing styles of combat is like a really cool thing that I felt was important for the rest of the game. And I'm like, why haven't I not found any more of these? So I looked it up using a guide, and I'm like, oh, that's where that's some of the other ones. Those are cool. It's like, oh, that one's got there's one there, there's one there, and it's like interesting. But I didn't really like look into how to get those. I'm like, okay, so I still thought maybe those are still along a path where I'll just get to them naturally. And I'm referring to in this case the beast crest and the wanderer crest, which is in that beast fly fight, and the wormways. And the wormways one is honestly, that one's not that bad. Even the fight's not that bad. Especially if you have enough, like, especially if you're upgraded just enough to like get past it. It's just normal dudes. Getting there is like annoying though. Yeah, and like I got the beast crest early because I kept bashing my brain against the Savage Beastfly fight. Fuck that fight. That shouldn't exist.
I came to that one late, so that's one of the ones where I have other friends that talk about how much that sucks. I'm like, I don't. That one was easy for me. I came lucky. Pretty late.
Did you fight the Beastfly the second time above the lava pit?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm sure you beat it at that point.
Yeah.
I got to that one where it's like hunt the Beastfly. I'm like, okay, is it like the small one? No, it's the full size one. Hell no. Fuck that. I've got trauma from fighting the fucking first one, and the second one is the exact same thing, but over a lava pit? No. Once is enough. Over solid ground. Once is enough. But anyway, you get the beast crest from that guy, and like that one's all right. That one's I won't use this because the dive attack, like the down attack in midair, not worth it. Not useful. Ooh, no, fuck that. That's useless. It seems like a great option, like a great fighting style, but you need that down attack for all your platforming. So why the fuck would you program it to basically spin the Hornet up, and fling her this way, like literally like that? Like that sucks.
Oh, on the beast, yeah,
the beast. That is useless.
That was the crest useless. I immediately took off and was like, I'm not even gonna, because I stuck with the
useless
Hunter crest, the default one for most of the game, but I'd at least try all the others. Beast was the one I went, oh no,
I basically I mainlined. So I tried that. It's like, here's the thing, I love everything else about the Beastfly, but that down attack is so useless that it's not worth it, because you need it for platforming, and the platforming is pretty hard in this game. And I'm like, okay, this isn't gonna fly. So we're gonna go back to the Reaper Crest, which I already had, because it had a great downward attack, and was fairly like a powerful crest. And it's like, yeah, you get to, when you bind, you basically get all your like these orbs that you can collect to get your silk back fast. Like, that's cool, great usability. But I don't like the playstyle of it as much. I like the uppercut when you run, but like otherwise it's a little too slow. I'm more of a quicker kind of, like, I will take an SMG that fires a bunch of like ones instead of a shotgun that shoots like 20s, you know?
Yeah.
Because like it just feels better for me. So like, okay, what's the equivalent of that in this game? The Wanderer crest is super fast, but you gotta get up like super close and personal. And we'll get to that in a second, but I already don't like that aspect of this game. But I'm like, whatever, okay, cool. I'll get the Wanderer crest. So I went and got that eventually. Took me a bit because I had to figure out if I could get it, because it needs a fucking key to get it. Okay, whatever. Got the crest. It has a good downward attack. The running attack, super good feeling. Oh man, the running attack is so good when you run into a guy, you hit him, you bounce off, and you like, yeah, this is what I want. I like this a lot. The range is a problem. And here's the thing about a game like this. Silksong doesn't need contact damage, because the AI is good enough and hits you often enough that you don't need contact damage. I will put that out there. I will say, I
don't mind the contact damage. I definitely think it makes it a very different and difficult in unique ways to a lot of other games to have that contact damage.
Mm-hmm.
And there were definitely boss fights where I sure wish that boss fight didn't have contact damage, but
yeah,
I can see their logic of why it's there.
I can too. And a part of that logic, I'm pretty sure, is Castlevania Symphony of the Night has it as well. And so does Metroid. Metroid? Said that weird. So does Metroid. And these games had that, and therefore that seems like the right thing to have it as well, especially because Silksong is definitely a celebrant of those games, with the way it feels, the aspects of it. Like it definitely has me reminiscing about Metroid and Symphony of the Night a lot, and that's a good thing. I'm not saying that like, oh, I'm thinking about these games because this game sucks. No, it reminds me a lot of those games in a good way. But the issue is where Symphony of the Night, especially, it has mostly melee attacks. Symphony of the Night has the melee attacks happen out in front of you by a good distance. Even the daggers are a good distance away when the actual hitbox happens. In this game, it's like it's a little too close to you. And eventually I got it well, so I could actually use the Wanderer Crest and not get hit when I use it in an attack, when I attack with it. But even still, it just seemed like a overly risky gameplay style, which is funny because like the Wanderer Crest, from what I've been told, because I never really got into Hollow Knight so much, is the Hollow Knight
first
crest.
game's moveset.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is actually why I didn't play it much. I was like, well, I played Hollow Knight. I know friends that it's their favorite, but I kind of went, well, I played Hollow Knight. Why would I want to continue that moveset?
Sure.
Which is funny because I like Monster Hunter. I only use the Charge Blade. Like
interesting. 3
games now, and I'm well over 1,000 hunts of like, this is the only weapon I use. Why would I ever touch another weapon? But then Silksong, like, why would I use the old weapon? I've already played with that before. Who wants to keep playing with the old thing?
Yeah, I hear you.
Now, I will say, for all the complaints,
yeah,
I do adore this game. It might be my game of the year. For my complaints about the difficulty, the highs of this combat at time,
I hear you,
are unbelievable. There are some bosses where
fingernails
just feels like I'm bashing my head against them, but then I slowly see myself progressing in the fight. It's like, okay, hey, I can get, to the second phase readily, like more often, and then it's okay, I can get in the second phase with more health, and then it's, oh man, I almost beat that boss, and then a couple more tries later, hey, I beat them. Some of those bosses, this is just straight up just gonna be me dragging. Like First Sinner, I beat them on first try, and that just feels
nice,
so incredible. When you're like there were a couple of them, like 2 or 3 of the bosses, just get there, and it's like, I beat that boss first try. I'm the greatest video game player ever. Get to the next boss, and it's like, I suck.
First Sinner, the big robot that comes out of the background. I can't remember boss names so well. I'm not good with names.
Big robot no, you're thinking Fourth Chorus.
Fourth Chorus, yeah.
I also beat that one on first try.
First try, same here.
Yeah.
I've seen this before. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But then, like, there are bosses where, it's just, like, realizing, oh, I'm an idiot. Like, Last Judge really struggled. I shouldn't say really struggled against, but, multiple tries just felt, man, this boss fight feels blah, blah, blah. And then realize, oh, man, I forgot. There's an item I can equip that reduces fire damage. And what do you know?
Yeah.
This boss fight's way easier when you do that.
Sure is. I didn't use it because I felt that it was the easy way out.
Sure. But that's the thing, is I wish the boss fights gave you more of that choice to say, okay, if you want to challenge yourself, if you want to just over and over learn those patterns, build it up, get better, and overcome it, that would be great. But hey, if you just feel like, man, I am not having fun with this struggle, I just want to get past this thing and back to, you know, exploring this world, seeing these weirdo characters, doing some fun platforming and puzzling.
Yeah, so, okay. You mentioned this. You have beaten the game. I have not. I have two good reasons for this. A, I don't have a lot of time to play video games this much anymore anyway, so I can only really play it on the weekends, and I've had multiple weekends where I just haven't had time to even do that. So my life gets in the way of a lot of this shit. And the second thing is, where a lot of people get locked down into a boss fight, I specifically have a hard time with multiple mob fights. And
they're tough in this game.
Yes. So with the exception of the mob fights in Dark Souls 2, which are stupid easy, because they knew that, then they're like, hey, nobody wants to play a mob fight all that much. If there's like two bosses that I can do, like your Ornstein and Smo situation, I can figure that out. That's not a problem. Or if there's a boss that like maybe will spawn like an extra little thing once in a while, okay, figure that out too. Not an issue. Especially if I have 3D space. In this game, in Silksong, it's a 2D game, and I have an issue with the spacing of things. My problem is this: I am stuck, and I'm done with the game. I'm not playing anymore. I've quit because I don't care. I have such little time in my days these days to play games, and I can sit here and keep bashing my head for a long time against this fight, which is the coral, like the arena in the high palace or whatever it's called. It's the one where everybody gets stuck on. It's like a 10-stage fight in the arena.
God, yeah. What is that area called? I have to look it up now.
It's in Act 2. It's the one where you get to the point and you need to fight 10 rounds of the like essentially the paladins of this world. And like I can get occasionally to the last part of it where there's two of the big guys. But I can't get past this fight. And I put 9 hours into trying to beat this fight. And yeah.
High Halls. It's the High Halls fight. Yeah.
Yeah. I put 9 hours into trying to beat this fight. And I keep getting to the point where I'm like, I'm just maybe close enough to beat it. And then I regress horribly and I lose in the first like 3 rounds. And I get back there and then I regress horribly. And I get back there and then I regress horribly. And I'm just seeing this pattern. It's like, so like, because you're in a 2D plane and I can only do so much in a 2-dimensional plane and you're locked into this room, I can jump here. Sure. I can like jump off the wall here. I can, I have the harpoon that lets you like zip across the area. I can do that. Yeah, I can do that too. I can do all these. I have a lot of options. None of it is good enough because the AI in this game is, to its credit, really good and what I want from a game like this. However, it's just a little too annoying because when there's so many flying enemies in this game, and flying enemies are super hard to deal with in a melee game, let alone any game. And in Silksong, there are especially like the really annoying ones that throw like bells and just throw shit at you, period. They like to dodge constantly. And I'm just like, I just need you take 3 hits. Just please die so I can concentrate on these 4 other guys. Because like I need you gone so I don't get whacked by a bell randomly and die. And I'm just
I would definitely say the mob fights are some of the hardest because
yes,
when unlike a singular boss where you can learn patterns, you can learn timings of attacks and dodging. I will take
20 Trobio fights. I hate Trobio. I love that fight so much. He sucks so hard. I love it.
spoilers, he comes back as tormented.
Yeah,
Trovio
I've seen the spoilers for this game at this point. Like,
that is also a tough fight. Yeah, but like it's you can learn those fights. The mob ones, yeah, they're a little bit more random.
Yeah, sure.
And that's one thing. I don't know if I prefer Silksong to the original Hollow Knight.
Sure.
I don't necessarily know if, removing any personal bias, that I would say Silksong is better than the original Hollow Knight, because the main reason that I prefer Silksong is that Hornet is there's just more sort of
really well.
fluidity to the movement. And as a result, the enemies that she fights tend to be a little bit more chaotic in their movements, their attacking, etc. Whereas the original Hollow Knight, the Knight, no, not the Knight. God, why can't I think of what his name was called again?
No, he's the Knight. But there's also the Hollow Knight is not the Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like his attacks and his movement a little bit more locked to the up, down, forward, back. You did, have angular attacks, let's call them, but a little bit less. So the enemies were a little bit more predictable. The best comparison I've been able to make is it's kind of like a Mega Man versus Mega Man X scenario.
Yes, I agree with that.
And my preference was always X. I've never really cared for the stiff kind of 2D movement. So I definitely prefer Silksong. But I don't it's a tough one to sit here and say which is truly better.
There's only preferences.
Man, I really do like Silksong though. Like there's some really cool areas to find in that game. There's some really awful areas to find in that game, like Biowater.
I've heard
that place. That place sucks. It's awful. I don't like it.
They put multiple poison swamps in this game effectively, and Biowater.
They didn't just put poison swamps. They put poison swamps where, oh my god, there are some long runbacks, and it sucks.
The runbacks are a problem, I guess. Okay, coming from the Souls community, the runbacks are an issue in this game, and that's coming from me, who's used to Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2. There's some pretty long ones too. 3 not so much, because by 3 they realized people don't really like the runbacks. Bloodborne still kind of had them, whatever. And Elden Ring did away with them entirely. For the most part. Usually there's a bonfire pretty much just before the boss fight. It's because hey, we know it's difficult. Go and practice it and just keep going. If you want to fight that boss, you're right here. Here's your bonfire, go for it. But I'm used to these longer runbacks. Tomb of Giants. Everybody knows. Everybody who plays Dark Souls knows that one. It's a long ass runback. But if you know well enough, you don't have to worry about it too much. And I got really good at the runbacks in Silksong for a bit. The one to the Last Judge, I got to it to a point where I was talking to Kenny recently about the runback. It's oh, it's so hard because there's that one fly that hits you. It never actually once I figured it out, nothing hit me on the runback. I got perfect at it.
Yeah, I think the problem with the runbacks is they're just inconsistent. Like you mentioned Trobio, the bench is right. That runback is 15 seconds kind of thing. It's just run over, hop up, you're there. And then you have the Last Judge, and it's this long and they're not difficult enemies to fight, right? If there was at least difficult enemies along the way, but it's just those stupid conch flies that shoot its drill nose thing. It's just annoying and kind of frustrating enemy
Yes.
to get past.
Okay. Here's my pro tip for anybody who is having a hard time with that specific run back. Run. Run. If you just full tilt it and just jump past that conch fly, it will not hit you. It'll barely even follow you. Run up, do the little thing, just ignore the defender guy, jump to the next thing, fly over, go up. When you're at the top and there's the conch fly and the guy with the shield right there, you bounce off his head and up to the next platform. Don't go around, bounce off his damn head and go up. And then you're just right there. Yeah, that's the thing. That run back can be very tough. And a lot of them can be very tough. But like, if you figure out the way this game moves, I feel as if it gives you enough to, in the platforming especially, to just be like, I can ignore this, and this. Fuck all that. Don't even need to interact with it. And then like just go. But yeah, I have heard that the runbacks in Bilewater especially are horrible. And
yes. There are some hidden benches that help, but even then, that area sucks. But
yeah,
like there's also some areas with just some cool puzzles. Like there's an area called the Mist, I believe.
For the Mist, yep.
So you get there and you don't get a map. And as you're like running through this area, it will just kind of like randomly, so it's got, I don't know, I'll say like 10 rooms that they'll each have kind of 3 or 4 exits. And it just seems wildly inconsistent of like, okay, if I take up in this room one time, it takes me into room 3. But if I leave this area and come back and do it again, it takes me to room 6. How do I get, and then finally realize like, oh, if you just play your needle, these flies will tell you which ways to go to correctly progress through the area.
It's like a situation.
Yeah, Lost Woods.
Yeah, okay, sure.
And like that's a really cool puzzle. There's some areas that just have some like, hey, this really isn't a combat area. You're primarily just gonna do a bunch of platforming to get through here and activate a thing to complete this area. And there's just a really good variety of stuff like that in this game. But why I want to talk so much about the difficulty and all of this stuff is because I wish that this game was leading by example and had those accessibility options so that everybody could enjoy this game, and that, to the things that we first talked about of people projecting their fantasies and that, the cream, blah, blah, blah. It would be nice if this game did those things and then those people could instead say, hey, these are some of the reasons this game is so successful and good, is that it allows everybody to get the chance to meet and experience Trobio. Maybe they decided to just completely turn off damage. They just found Trobio too hard and they just wanted to get past him and then see what that's like. And so then they can get to tormented Trobio or,
exactly.
Hey, I just want to turn off the damage because I just want to have a fun time interacting with Chakra, Garmond, and Zaza, and the number one character of this game, Shurma.
Shurma, yes. Your best boy.
I think it's a shame. But again, I love this game. There's so much good to be had here, and I'll be interested what the future of Team Cherry is, because I could totally see them doing a Hollow Knight 3, but I could also see them saying, we've done 2 Hollow Knight games, we maybe like to make something else, and maybe they end up making both. Maybe they put out some smaller game while they're also working on a Hollow Knight 3. no idea what this studio does, but I'll definitely be interested. They'll have my attention almost no matter what they put out to just see, because despite any of those problems, they've created such a cool world, fun characters.
Yep.
I wouldn't say memorable music, but I would say really good atmospheric music.
The music is very good. I'm actually planning to use it my next D&D campaign. it's quite good. So yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Again, I couldn't hum a tune from it because it's mostly kind of just background stuff, but it does a great job setting the right mood and giving the correct atmosphere, and especially some of those fights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of all I have to say about this game. So Tristan, why don't you tell people where to find us? I'll tell you where. The city of Farloom, because we're both moving there.
No, I'm good. I'm good here.
But just, I don't know, everybody seems to like it there.
Yeah, because they're like weird spider puppets. Like I'm good.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
I'm
I guess
fine here.
I'll just be, the true servant of the Silk Ones.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, if you want to be the true servant of the Silk Ones, hell, fill your boots. Yeah, I won't be. I'll be over here. Not doing that. Yeah.
Non-believer.
Yeah, well, and what I am. Anyway, just quickly, I think just to echo some of your stuff, I agree with a lot of those things. I don't know if this is my game of the year. It's definitely a contender. It's here. I'm having a real problem with stuff this year because I haven't finished a lot of the games I've played this year, with the exception of Clear Obscure. And that's because I effectively made a one-shot build, and it works really well. And I don't know. Like I think Hollow Knight Silksong is definitely Game of the Year material.
No, I get it.
100%.
It's just not French enough for you. If his name was Trobier, then obviously you would have finished this, and it would be your Game of the Year.
I think Silksong is plenty French. Looking at some of the architecture, quite baroque.
That's fair. That's fair.
But even still, I think my opinion on it at this point is like it deserves a lot of Game of the Year accolades. I don't know if it's getting mine. I love the way it plays. Yeah, I love the way it plays. I like a lot of the things that it offers. But there came it was the last attempt I made at that arena fight. I just kind of realized I don't know if I don't think I had fun with this game, like in the slightest. Like beyond that,
a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah,
you're definitely not alone.
I don't think this game is very fun, and I have it's a disconnect I feel from like I don't play Souls likes. I've tried playing other Souls like Dark Souls likes, and I bounce off them like all of them immediately. I've heard Lies of P is very good. It looks like it has a cool system. I'm not going to play
Italian, I get it. Not French enough. We all understand.
It's true. I love my Italians. Anyway, basically Lies of P, I'm not going to play it because it's a Souls-like, and I'm done being disappointed by games who want to be like Dark Souls, but don't quite get it. And Silksong is the closest to being like a Dark Souls, and kind of mostly getting it, but not quite at the same time. So that's where I'm at with this. Like, I like the way it moves. I love the playstyles are really cool. The characters are great. The lore is interesting. The environments are beautiful. I love the art style. Music's great. But the combat just doesn't quite strike the same chords for me sometimes. And like it's got a like I said at the top of the episode, it's got a combination of like Souls like and Devil May Cry-ness because it's got that character action combat, which I do love. At the same time, it just, I don't know. I don't know if it's this is the right blend for me.
Sure.
Yeah, I can see why people love this game, and like, hell yeah, I'm glad that Silksong is not disappointing to the majority of the people who waited for it, and I'm glad that this game is being talked about as like a absolute win for like the gaming community in general. And this is great because we have like video games have very little positive things happening for them these days. I find a lot of layoffs, a lot of buyouts, the whole thing with the Xbox Game Pass, etc. To a point where like as long as we can look towards Silksong and be like, hey, this game came from a very small team of 100 people. Something like that anyway. Maybe like 60, I think, actually, in total. This game came from a very small studio, very small team. Not a lot of money behind it. We're not talking like a $30 million or not talking like a $300 million game or anything like that. And it's blowing the lid off of the gaming community, and people are loving it. And people are really discussing what this game means, and this game, I can point at Silksong and be like, this is art. It made me feel a lot of things. It made everybody feel a lot of things about it, around it. It's in the zeitgeist. And yeah, it's just one of those games where it deserves a lot of the accolades. I just don't know if it's getting mine. Maybe I'll go back to it. Maybe I'll beat that fight in the first try. But who knows? But not for a while, I think. Anyway, you can find us after I just said I don't like this game. You can find us on Blue Sky, which is at EIFNAR. Send your hate mail to me, which is at Citizen Crane, because I'll take that heat. I'll take that entirely, because fuck it, I don't care. Also, go to our Twitter. What was I trying to say?
Blue Sky?
I just said Blue Sky. Our Spotify and iTunes channels, where our podcast is. Listen to the show. Like it if you like it. Subscribe and follow us if you can. It takes 2 seconds to do so. Maybe you should just do it, you punk. And go to our YouTube channel when you're watching this episode. And if you are watching, yes, like and subscribe to this channel. It would mean a lot to the hostages I have if you liked and subscribed to this channel.
Would it?
It would.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate to disappoint hostages.
Yeah. There's a lot of them too, and they would all be very disappointed if you did not subscribe and like this show.
That sounds like Silksong, honestly.
Yeah, actually, yeah, a little bit. Damn, apt comparison. Wow. Did you do this on purpose, or was that just a joke that went sideways? We'll never know. Anyway, go to our friends. It was DJDane.com. That's the guy who does the music, DJDane.com. And if you could just like listen to him go for a little bit into a microphone while there's like a wall of text, because he'll just go like blah, 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 and then it's just like text comes up.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. That's how you get to know DJ Dane more. Yeah.
Makes
By
sense.
reading his text. Okay. Quickly. This is the end of the episode, but I gotta mention this one cool thing in Hollow Knight that I do like. How, and if you look at the logo that I have in the title card right here, the top part of the logo where it has Hornet's head, when she is talking, it has her head there, and if anybody else is talking, it's got like the one on the very bottom. And I noticed that recently. I'm like, oh, that is a good touch. I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's it for our show. Tune in next time for another Econoids episode of Everything's Fine is Ruined. See ya.
See ya.
Say it.